start tonight with a public hearing. Mr. Mitchell would read the heading.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Notice of public hearing. Please take notice the county legislature of the county of Oswego will meet at the Legislative Chambers, 46 East Spring Street, Oswego, New York, at 7 o'clock p.m. on the 12th day of September, 2024, for the purpose of holding a public hearing on local law number 7 of the year 2024, entitled A Local Law Opting Out of Real Property Tax Law, Section 487. Copies of the proposed local law are available in the clerk of the legislature's office at 46 East Spring Street, Oswego, New York, and available online at oswegocounty.com. The request can also be emailed to the clerk of the legislature. By order of the Oswego County Legislature, dated August 15, 2024, Betsy Sherman Saunders, clerk. Any persons wishing to be heard regarding local law number 7, proposed local law number 7 of 2024, regarding opting out of real property tax law, section 487, please step forward and state your name.
Legislator House.
There are none, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, there being no persons wishing to be heard regarding proposed local law number 7 of 2024, I'd request to declare the public hearing closed at 7:04.
Thank you. Closed. Moving now to the roll call. Will the Deputy Clerk of the Legislature, Raymond Ahart, please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yurden.
Here.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
David Holtz.
Here.
Roy Rehill.
Here.
Don Martino.
Here.
Frank Lombardo has been marked excused. Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Chesbro.
Here.
Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist.
Here.
Stephen Walpole.
Here.
Kevin Hill.
Here.
James Scanlon.
Here.
Charles Berger.
Here.
Robert Wilmot.
Here.
Marie Shaw.
Here.
Paul Connolly.
Here.
Noel Samuelson. Here. James Karasik.
Here.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Mark Greco.
Present.
Frank Cecilia.
Wouldn't miss it.
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 present and 1 excused.
Thank you. Would you now please lead us in the invocation?
On this day, let us take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate the blessings, opportunities, and challenges that shape our lives. As we reflect on the tragic events of September 11, 2001, let us honor the memory of those who lost their lives and extend our support to those who continue to mourn. We must also recognize the remarkable courage in those who selflessly responded and sacrificed their lives to assist others. In their memory, let us dedicate ourselves to serving our communities, upholding values that future generations can build upon with confidence and hope. Amen. Now for a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have Legislator James Scanlon and Legislator Noel Samuelson please lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I trust we've seen the minutes from the regular county legislature meeting on August 15th. So moved. Motion, second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. At this time, I'd like to have Pamela Gober come forward along with the government committee and Phil Church. If they can step forward. And Veronica Turner.
thank her for 24 years of service to Oswego County. She has been instrumental in the audit department with all the changes we've made in the last 6 years. In 2021, she had to train not only a new fellow audit clerk, but she also had to train the newly appointed auditor at the same time. She did an amazing job, and I think she's left the county in good hands, and wish you well in this time.
Thank you and congratulations. At this time, I'd like to have Terry Bennett and the Public Safety Committee please come forward.
Thank you. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, thank you.
National Preparedness Month. Whereas National Preparedness Month occurring annually in September creates an ideal opportunity for every resident of Oswego County to join citizens across the United States in preparing their homes, businesses, and communities for any type of emergency, including natural disasters, chemical emergencies, and other events. Whereas Oswego County residents have experienced emergencies and disasters caused by floods and flash floods, severe thunderstorms and tornadoes, high wind, and severe winter storms, and whereas the Federal Emergency Management Agency is encouraging communities and disaster planning partners to ready ourselves for all the hazards our communities face. And whereas people with vulnerabilities, including older adults, disadvantaged, mobility challenged, and other individuals are at greater risk of harm during emergencies and disasters. And whereas it is imperative that we advocate for the well-being of our county's vulnerable population and champion them as valued, honored, and respected members of our community. And whereas the county's emergency management, health office for the aging, veterans and social services departments, among others, work to advocate for these vulnerable populations and all Oswego County residents in preparing for emergencies and disasters. And whereas it is important for all county residents to create a family disaster plan and put together a disaster supply kit to make their homes more resilient. And now, therefore, myself, our chairman, Mr. Weatherup, and members of the Oswego County Legislature declare September is National Preparedness Month. Congratulations. Our emergency management office works very hard to keep people prepared. I know they had a class at home or
There is a community preparedness event at the City of Fulton at the community room in the municipal building at 6 o'clock next Tuesday, the 17th. That's the second one in our county so far. The state and the National Guard present that. We had one in Pulaski a couple of weeks ago. People who come to that and register ahead of time will receive a family disaster supplies kit in a backpack that will be the start of something you can have at home that you either take with you or use if you're trapped at home for a few days to make sure you have supplies on hand in a disaster. We had an eventful summer. We were fortunate in this county that we didn't have major problems as the ones around us did. But it's important that we all are ready for any disaster that could happen. The weather's getting stranger. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the EDP committee and a representative from the Pageant of Champions. Please come forward. I thought you were. Come on, Buccaneers, get right in here.
of three. 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Whereas a community is created by the hearts of its citizens and sustained by those dedicated to its prosperity, inspired by the heroes within it. And whereas on September 28, 2024, our Oswego County community will celebrate the 45th anniversary of the Pageant of Champions, New York State Field Band Conference competition hosted by the Oswego High School Band Parents Association and the Oswego High School Marching Buccaneers at the athletic complex at Oswego High School. And whereas since this pageant began in 1979, well over 110,000 spectators from all over New York State have been thrilled by the amazing display of talents, skills, contagious enthusiasm of more than 257 bands and more than 25,000 student performers. And whereas annually hosting such high-profile, emotional, intense performances have required immense coordination and unwavering community support and the personal commitment of the Oswego High School Band Parents Association and the Marching Band Buccaneers, who are nationally recognized music directors and staff. And whereas more than 3 decades, such an amazing demonstration of leadership, discipline, dedication has been a great source of community pride. Now therefore be it resolved that James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature and the people of Oswego County, do hereby recognize the 45th Annual Pageant of Champions and commend each band member, 2 of which are with us tonight, their leaders, teachers, families, and their unwavering commitment to this spectacular event that now makes this 45th anniversary an especially proud moment for them.
Thank you. Any introduction to visitors? Public speakers on resolutions of the day by Legislator House. Thank you. At this time, I would invite Donna Scanlon to come forward. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I've taken time out of my busy sports schedule to come here tonight. Anyhow, I'm a Bills fan, if anybody doesn't notice. I'm a member of ACPA, which is Oswego County's Public Association. At one time, we were PEF, which was the Public Employees Federation, and associated with New York State. If you don't know me, I'm one of the older employees, or as I like to refer to myself, more experienced over time. And I came here tonight just because of the resolutions that are put before about the compensation study. I'd like to read a couple letters from my fellow APA folks. They didn't want to come up here and speak themselves for one reason or another. Some just because they don't have the amount of time in that I do. And I said, hey, I'll talk to you, because I've been around the block, me and Jenny. Anyhow, I've got to stand up here because I can see better. Here's one. As a county employee who has been with the county for a number of years, I'm frustrated with how certain unions receive more attention and more resources than ACPA. If you don't know already, you should. You should know that the current Oswego County experienced workforce is not satisfied with the randomness of promotions, reclassifications of job titles, and selective pay increases. All county employees are facing the same inflation issues as management and others. It also appears that the compensation study was fixed to present information which favored certain individuals and departments. Many long-term county employees who have significant experience in their fields are dismissed and considered non-essential. I believe this is a way to encourage retirement while using these employees' work ethics against them and not providing adequate compensation. Many long-term employees are dedicated to their work. This is used against them because the workload has increased due to vacancies and the pay has not. The county legislature should be thankful for the old timers. That's in parentheses. I don't think the person was throwing any shade. Because these are the employees who are dedicated and care about their work. The attitude of the county legislature and management is destroying the work ethic of the county workforce. Additionally, Oswego County continues to contract out tasks and jobs to private vendors who are not local and not invested in Oswego County. Additionally, these consultants are more expensive than creating a county job, and they often require oversight, which is provided by county employees that are paid less than their consultants. Thank you for considering or listening to my comments. And then another one, which this one's nice big print, thank you. Speaking on the resolution to increase compensation to ACPA members, I am very dissatisfied with the county's decision to increase to only a few of the members of the ACPA union rather than an across-the-board increase of the same amount for every member of the union, and each title found to be deserving of an increase based on the compensation study. Basically, those who are new to the titles or lacking years of service have been granted increases, while those who have been in their positions for much longer are not. The county has publicly stated that the retention of employees is very important to be able to continue the many services that the county provides. But by deciding to compensate members of ACPA union whose annual gross income is less than the base rate of their compensation study results while completely disregarding the rest makes me question whether the retention is really that important. It is insulting to those who have been loyal employees for several years to reach the level of pay and they are stuck and that they can't earn anymore. Several ACPA members are employees who have risen to ACPA union because of increased job duties, higher responsibilities, and are at a higher rate of pay due to many of the years of service to the county. To be completely passed over, ignored, and forgotten after working so hard for so many years while others with the same job title in the same union receive an increase. I'm really for two people. Increase. It should be increased for all employees of that job title. I have never felt so disrespected or unappreciated in all my years of service to the county as I do at this moment. And that's from, these two are from people that are not me, and I'm out of time to tell you my thoughts, but I'm just, at this point in my county career, I'm just kind of disgusted, you know? I mean, come on. If you look back at ACPA, and, you know, and I'm not saying that the other unions aren't deserving. That's not it. The thing is, ACPA has been like the red-haired stepchild for this county for a long time. And we've taken it on the chin. I remember 7 zeros, not 5, 7. We've had promises broken. You know, it's like a bad relationship, and if you know me, you know I've had some bad relationships. So, that's a joke. Okay, so it's just, you know, if you're not the member, you're disgusted. And I would say if someone says, you want a promotion, you want to go to APA, don't do it. Just don't do it. Thanks. Go Bills.
Thank you. Is there any other persons who wish to speak on resolutions of the day? Thank you. Reports of county officials? Any reports of standing committees? Report of special committees? Moving then into resolutions, government courts and consumer affairs.
Chairman, if I may say a few words?
Yes.
Yes. What I'd like to speak on is that for at least 10 years, Bill Church has been trying to get the 16th Marine Sanctuary here in Lake Ontario. And we were amongst 4 counties that were vying for it. And as many may know, this Friday, the ribbon cutting went. Now this went through several presidents, congressmen, governors that we had to go through. But Phil has been steadfast and has brought something to Oswego County that will be huge. And I'm sure this is where the flagship building will be built. So I would like to say that we truly appreciate what you brought to Oswego County.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
I'll allow
this
this
lady would like to speak on
Come
the
forward.
resolutions of the day, please.
Your name?
Jessica Madison. Jessica Madison, M-A-T-T-E-S-1.
So you have 5 minutes.
All right. Afternoon. My name is Jessica Madison, and I hope
The clerk has to reset.
Oh, okay. I hope many of you remember me, as I've had the pleasure of meeting you some outside this room, and I came to a meeting before where I spoke about the same issues I am today, just a little less educated on my end. But boy, have I been reading. I also have the pleasure of wearing this shirt, and if you can't see it, it has the signatures of the dedicated employees of Department of Social Services, who unfortunately were unable to attend because due to the second job because of this broke economy right now. Or let's face it, 90% of DSS have families and young children. And no disrespect, but when I look out into this peer of people, I don't think many of you have children in this county right now. You're past that stage. Tuesday night, I attended a quickly put together, barely any explanation of a union meeting that talked about an MOU 7% that possibly would be voting on today with a vote of a 3% raise for a contract of a negotiation to shut us up. I have news for you. I get paid to communicate and to educate. And one thing I won't do is shut up, especially when it comes to my people of DSS. My awesome coworkers who consistently go above and beyond for this county. The proud, the few who jump in to help a family in crisis mode. The one who have continuously been gaslighted by the agency, the union, and this pool of people. And boy, are we mad. I am a blended family of 8. My 6 beautiful children look up to me. I told them I wanted a better future in Oswego County. I promised them I'm going to be a voice, and here I am to start a chain reaction. You know, the union and some people I worked with told me not to come up here, told me not to send screenshots because it was going to make you guys mad. Last time I checked, I paid a $35 out of each paycheck to my union. They work for me, not the legislators. You educate them and correct them when we disagree. You don't satisfy them. Now I'm going to get to facts and address appropriately. I'm sorry if I'm going to be a little mean, but Mr. Church, you came into our building with my people in the department and you looked me in the face and you said that you were trying to bridge the gap of the county and the legislators. And you said that you put $2.3 million aside for good faith to show us you were going to do something with that compensation study. Great, perfect. I hope you uphold that part of the bargain tonight. Fast forward a few months, it's been crickets from the union. We've been asking. On August 14th, they said there was no written offer. August 20th, happy news, thanks for the patience. Have many of you been asking, The Burke study came back. The county offered a 7%, effective 9/16, vote on 9/12. But wait, to get that good faith 7% from that wage study, you'll have to pass a 3% for 2025 to hold off negotiations for your contract. Even though we can't quote them, roughly the union had 26 proposals. No other 5.5 from the wage study of the sheriffs or the audit position had to vote on theirs. Per our union, I haven't seen it on the agenda yet. We asked our union what happens if we say no to this 3%. They said, well, they could say no to yours and it'd be a lot of paperwork and stuff. And I said, well, I guess you started printing that paper. We pushed and educated the most we could in the days we had to make the legislators make time for us. More important, I'm damn sure more important than a Micron project. I heard the vote got passed 162 to 138, splitting hairs. You know, I really don't like bullies. I really don't. You should all be ashamed that you had brought this past our union. A lot of people we work with are young employees. They see a 7 and a 3 and they think, oh, that's quick. But they don't realize that one of the fellow employees on my back, her mortgage went up because of the taxes. $400 extra a month. Your raise does not cover that. How bothersome. Mr. Berger, let me remind you, due to unfortunate events, the district you are sitting, Mrs. Lori Mangano was the voice of my people. So if you do not want to be the voice of DSS, I suggest you get out of that seat. Mr. Frank, you said the wage study wasn't worth it. We know the people at DSS need more money. You paid the caseworkers, you paid people upstairs, but you forgot about downstairs, the integrated, the ones who work hand in hand with these caseworkers. I am also a mandated reporter. I didn't get the COLA increase like mental health like everybody did. I help provide, educate these families in this county. You need to help advocate more funds for the county workers and less for the TANF population. I understand there's a chain of command here. County workers, county funding, state workers, state funding. But once you step into a DSS world, you realize it's not like that. I can't even touch on the Micron project because it's been going on since 1987. Thanks, Chuck Schumer. Weather up. Oswego County is in crisis mode. Last time I checked, I don't see free fruit. I see homeless people on the corner. I have just 2 more seconds. Now, I know my family was born and raised in Oswego County, and many of you folks that went to school with my dad, John Madison, and might be friends with him. And as the Madisons, we are always about integrity, honesty, and respect. In the world of wolves and sheepdog, in the world of wolves and sheep, I will always be a sheepdog. Even if I have a lot of support, a lot of signatures. November is a very important month. If you want votes, I got people. If you help me, I'll help you. Please do your job correctly and help the people of Oswego County, especially Department of Social Service, Integrated Services. I am a social welfare examiner. I've been there for 6 years. I hold a caseload of 750 people. 750. How can I manage that? With a calendar, I have to see them, I interview them, I talk to them, I email them, I communicate all with them. Please help us. Please help us. I love this county.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers on resolutions of the day? If not, moving into Government Courts and Consumer Affairs, Resolution GC1 by Legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move the resolution, urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution adopting County of Oswego Local Law 7 of 2024, a local law opting out of real property tax 487.
Section 2 of the county special assessment with respect to any solar, wind energy, or fire waste energy system. This will be going into effect until October 1st, 2024.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
All right. Resolution GC2 is a resolution accepting broadband funds from the town of Richland, which we thanked when we were in Glasgow. I'd like to thank them again. Support our mission to expand broadband throughout the entire county. When communities come together, we turn challenges into opportunities that can make a real difference. Thank you. Resolution GC2 by Legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that resolution, urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing an increase the capital project number 0524 for the inclusion of funds provided by the town of Richmond.
Just so our chairman explained.
Yes, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC3 by legislator Holmes.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing, accepting, and distributing grant funds received from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, GJCS.
This is where the Oswego County Public Defender's Office has received $322,000 since I was of the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused. Oh, excuse me, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Yes. Resolution GC4 by legislator Holmes.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution establishing capital project number E0524, vehicle replacement weights and measures.
This is for the Department of Weights and Measures, and total authorization will be $50,680 for a new vehicle.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC5 by legislator Holmes.
Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing Board of Elections Commissioner.
Yes, this is resolved that Matthew Fleming of Oswego, New York is appointed to the Democratic Commissioner of Board of Elections. Salary of $71,407.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
And I understand Mr. Fleming is in the house. In the back of the seat. Welcome aboard. Resolution GC6 by legislator Holmes.
Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing acting public defender in and for the county of Oswego.
Yes, this is for Bradley A. Jansen of the city of Oswego is appointed the acting Oswego County Public Defender effective September 12, 2024 for a salary of $152,248.
Yes, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused. Oh, excuse me, 23. 22.
Thank you. I'd also mention that the acting defender is in the house also. Raise your hand. Again, welcome. Resolution GC7 by legislator Holmes.
Chairman, I offer the resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution opposing the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, proposed rulemaking to replace the existing fire brigade standard.
This is where the county legislature imposes new standards written in encouragement of OSHA and to revisit the standard to ensure it does not damage our emergency response capabilities in the Oswego County.
Yes, these regulations are potentially very troubling to the volunteer fire service. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to the Public Safety Committee, Resolution PS1 by legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, emergency management, office drone technology, American Rescue Plan Fund.
This is in the amount of $210,000 approximately. We're finally getting to the stage where we're going to purchase the drone in the boxes, put it out, that can be launched right from 911. There's 4 additional drones being purchased for 2 newly trained deputies in the sheriff's office as well.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Will this eliminate the need for a drone manager? I mean, if they're going to the 911 and the sheriff's department, or do we still need a drone manager?
No, we see, if I can answer that. We
Okay.
will still need the drone coordinator. With the FAA regulations, and we have a 2-mile line of sight now that we've been authorized by the FAA. With these 4 drones, we're going to be able to show the FAA that we can fly them properly, and we're going to need the drone coordinator to monitor them so we can get to the next level.
Mr. Chairman,
Legislator Shaw.
how often are drones being flown? Just an example in Oswego County.
You know, I did ask that question at the meeting. I don't remember the answer. Kevin?
At this point, they're being flown almost daily, if not multiple times daily,
For what?
by the sheriff's deputies, largely on law enforcement incidents,
Can you chase people with them?
looking for people in the woods, and yes.
Okay.
Just a little bit of clarification. When they're dispatched by 911, when the local agency gets on the scene, they take control. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 1 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS2 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification to transfer from funds from personnel examination line to other equipment for the emergency management office.
This is in the amount of $4,500. They're basically course registration fees that they have to pay the instructors with and find new equipment.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS3 by Legislator Greco.
Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, E911 overtime.
This is in the amount of $60,000. Overtime can be moved from salary and wages.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS4 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Sheriff's Office, transfer from Insurance Recovery, Treasurer's Office to Automotive Equipment Road Division.
This is 3 separate accidents, vehicle accidents, approximately $20,000. I'd like to put that into the fleet.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS5 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification to increase Sheriff's Office road patrol overtime.
There's been a lot of overtime and additional hours of $200,000 they needed to move to the overtime line. They will take that from $150 from salary and wages and $50 from task work.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS6 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting revenue for County of Oswego Local Law Number 3 of 2024 entitled Oswego County Traffic Diversion Program.
All right, so we enacted the traffic diversion program. This is our first payment back. It's $110,000 we dispersed to the county, the towns, and the district.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS7 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, District Attorney's Office legal fees.
This is the amount of $20,800 is needed for contract services for other attorneys for appeals and things of that nature that can't be handled out of the district attorney.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that is 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving then to the Human Services Committee, Resolution HS1 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, Adult and Family Services, other fees and services.
This account is seeing an increase in legal services and costs and mandated qualified individual assessments.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution HS2 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, Adult and Family Services, additional hours.
Yeah, this is the services for additional hours expenses. DSS staff has been working additional hours and in some instances overtime to meet the demand, increased workload due to the increased services needed and unfilled vacancies.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS3 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, HEAP, other supplies and expense, and low-income home energy assistance allocation acceptance.
Yes, this is additional funding that's coming in for HEAP. That is the low-income energy assistance program. The Oswego County will be receiving $30,000, and that will be broken down between the HEAP program for furnace inspection and repair, and also money going into the budget line for payroll.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS4 by Legislator Scanlon.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract, RFP 24-DSS-004, Adolescent Sexual Offender Treatment Program.
Yes, this is a total of $269,109, and is going to be awarded to the Huntington Family Center, 405 Gifford Street, Syracuse.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, I know all the legislature in here gets to read what this is going to do, but I would like an explanation as to what the duties of this, what they're going to get paid for. You know, people want to know what we're doing with this money. So if you would, please explain the program to us. Someone from Human Services or... I mean, the public doesn't know what we're doing here. I mean, we've all read it, okay?
Yeah,
But the
well,
public
basically
doesn't know.
what's happening here, this is for adolescents and sexual offender treatment program. This is where sexually offended children can go and receive treatment for, their issues.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS5 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional service contract, RFP 24-DSS-005, Family Support Program.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this one has been awarded to Catholic Charities of Fulton. It's a $924,296 bid. This one is basically going to be used for the department reviewing proposed termination proposal for Catholic Charities.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Again, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. these are things that are very important to the community and should be giving a background or what the department's going to do, what these programs are going to, how they're going to supply, what are they going to do for the kids, what are they going to do for the sexually assaulted, and I think they should know that.
Well, I don't
And
disagree.
I know that
with
it's
that at all.
discussed in committee, and we've got it in front of us here, but the public doesn't.
Well, what we can do moving forward then is we're committing on certainly put together a statement for folks that they can have that we can get also from DSS.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to point out that Legislator Castillo is free to present this information himself if he so desires.
If I was on the Human Services Committee, I would present it, sir. Okay? I'm not. Okay? Is there anybody from DSS here or anybody that can present?
Legislator Rehill, you have a hand?
The RFPs, which describe the ask for what we're looking for on proposals, are all public documents. If we need to bring them the next time to meetings, we can start bringing those RFPs and then the actual contracts.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS6 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution. I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract RFP 24-DSS-006 Family Counseling Program.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this proposal was $634,000. This is another situation where people are going out for services. This is more for counseling through this group of folks at the Huntington Family Center on Gifford Street as well.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS7 by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract RFP 24-MH-001 Primary Violence Prevention and Educating.
Mr. Chairman, this is for folks that need to go in for violence prevention, and they're doing this through an educator as opposed to a trainer, and that is why it's been awarded to Catholic Charities for $142,638.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to the Economic Development and Planning Committee, Resolution EP1 by Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Would you like to read the resolution? Well, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Thank you. Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Workforce Development, accept additional revenue for New York Systems Change and Inclusive Opportunities Network, New York Sideline.
Yeah, this is accepting funds from the New York State Systems Change and Inclusive Opportunities Network in the amount of $30,000 for individuals with disabilities as it relates to tuition and on-the-job training.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP2 by Legislator Gilson.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Workforce Development, Memorandum of Understanding with Manufacturers Association of Central New York for Real Life Rosie's Training Program.
Yes, this is a memorandum of understanding for the Manufacturers Association of Central New York for the amount of $35,400 for apprenticeship and classes for this purpose.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I asked legislator if he would please read the background for this resolution. It's on the back side of that whereas. Public doesn't see it, but I get to read it. I'm in favor of this program, but I just like the public to know how we came up with this.
Sir, background is to accept funding from the attached memorandum of understanding for the partnership of the Manufacturers Association of Central New York, MACN, to offer the real-life ROSI program to introduce more women to manufacturing. The goal of the project is to improve access to registered apprenticeship work opportunities for women through a program focusing on the manufacturing industry. In support of implementing a pre-apprenticeship micro-credential curriculum in advance of manufacturing at Cave Community College, developed to engage the support of female participants in exploring a career path in advanced manufacturing, maintaining employment and/or registered apprenticeship. The Department of Workforce Development will offer recruitment assistance, resource navigation, case management, resume development, interview skills, job placement, supportive services, and follow-up services to all program participants.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
The Department of Workforce Development will be reimbursed by MAC through grant award and funding. This is what I would like. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Yep. The public appreciates that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Resolution EP3 by Legislator Gilson.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, accepting funds from New York State Department of Transportation, 2024 DOH, and establish Department of Health revenue and expense lines for the Office of Mobility Management.
Yeah, we're requesting authorization to authorize budgetary modification and acceptance of these funds from the Department of Transportation, create the corresponding expense and revenue lines under the Office of Mobility Management.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP4 by Legislator Gilson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this as resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, transfer of New York State Department of Transportation CARES funds from the Department of Community Development, Tourism and Planning to Office of Mobility Management.
Yeah, this is, we're asking to authorize transfer of the remaining Corona relief funds, the CARES funds, in the amount of $1,758,742.63 from the Department of Community and Planning to the Mobility Management Department.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP5 by Legislator Gilson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, transfer of funds from the Treasurer's Office Insurance Recovery Account to the Office of Mobility Management.
Yeah, this is transferring $1,790 to the Office of Mobility Management from the Treasurer's Office from the Insurance Fund for elderly.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP6 by Legislator Gilson.
And Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Community Development Housing Office.
This is a budgeting correction to two different budget lines in an amount of $5,252. Originally, apparently created by a resolution number 100 back in April 2023.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP7 by legislator Gilson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification to increase state transit operating assistance for the Office of Mobility Management.
Yeah, we're requesting to authorize budgetary modifications to increase the New York State Department of Transportation operating transit assistant by the amount of $500.
Correct in the paper. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Health Committee, Resolution HE1 by legislator Carrasco.
Watch out for public policy. Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I offer the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Health Department, cost of spraying to control disease-carrying mosquitoes.
So, before I go to detail, I do want to mention that I sit on the Public Health Committee at NISAC, and it was a mixed emotion meeting because I'm never pleased to hear that other people are going through what we're going through. But because many counties east of us and a couple of other states in the northeast are now dealing with what we've had to deal with for years in an ongoing discussion with the state to carry the cost of this, I was pleased that it now has drawn the attention of NISAC and is on their agenda to try to get this modified so the state takes more accountability. This resolution is moving the money. We pay half of the spraying cost, so it's $19,175. We pay the state, because we pay half, we pay the other half, $19,174, and then the bill is paid.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Can you tell me the chemical name of what you're spraying?
Perethrin.
What is it?
Perethrin.
How do you spell that?
I think it's P-E-R-E-T-H-I-N.
You guys,
Thank you.
Mr. Wells. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE2 by legislator Carrasco.
This is another discussion at NISAC that many other counties are quite upset over. They're facing the same issues that we're facing with transportation. Absolutely everyone agrees the children with special needs need to have proper education and facilities that are capable of taking care of them. However, the cost of busing and transportation falls back on the county to pay the bill. So, in this particular one, HE2, the Health Department is requesting $1,828,446 to increase line A 2960 preschool other payments, $1,087,926 to increase the line A2960, which is state aid, and $66,197 in vacancies in multiple health divisions, and $674,323 from the appropriated fund balance.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE3 by legislator Carrasco.
Part 2. So this one again, the Health Department is requesting $584,400 to increase 2960 preschool transportation, $347,718 to increase 2960 state aid, and $100,498 from vacancies in multiple health division, and a reduction of $136,184 from the appropriated fund balance.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mike Logan.
There you go. Moving now to the Infrastructure Facilities and Technology Committee, Legislator House with Resolution IT-1.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution increasing authorization of capital project number C0122, Bunner Street Complex renovation.
Yeah, this is an addition to a resolution we had that we amended. We had $1 million left over from the mix plant, the Tumas plant, and we needed another 1.6 for renovations to Bunner Street for the total of $10,857.60. $10,857,765, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, I am very concerned about this. There's been continual cost overruns. I just wonder if CNS Engineering is really overseeing the bid process properly. I understand the county signed a contract with LaChase, so CNS should be our protection. And a good engineering firm does due diligence. In due diligence, walls, mold, pipe, structure, these are not complex issues. Did CNS notify us that this was going south more than once? I mean, mold is pretty simple, fine, looked at hard all the time. It's a 50-year-old building. I just feel that CNS holds some liability to the county on this. And how we're being notified about overruns. CNS, I assume, wrote the specs. They're paid to protect us. And I'm disgusted by this. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Wilmot.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, you know, in a project of that nature, that size, there are always going to be a lot of unforeseen things. Even though the architect, you know, put it all together, there's going to be a lot of unforeseen things. If you were to tear that building down and rebuild it the same size today, you're looking at more than $20 million for sure. It needed to be done. It's unfortunate that, you know, there was a lot of unforeseen things, you know, whether it be in the drainage or just under the building itself. But there were issues that had to be taken care of. So,
And I liken it to you're rebuilding an old farmhouse or you're building brand new. So there were things that were discovered in that process. Legislator, you're.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've had the privilege to attend the owners meeting on the street since January. We started every 2 weeks, and now we're doing it every week. And this building built in the early 70s certainly was not built to the standards and codes of today. And some of the things that came about would be unforeseen. It's just a state of the fact of the age of the building and the use of the building and a lot of other things. And I think that CNS has done a pretty good job of trying to keep us informed and addressing those issues as well as what changes. So,
Thank you. Legislator Shaw.
No, I mean, saying that we did a good job, I just don't feel it was a good job.
Thank you. Legislator Stevens.
I hear everybody saying they did this, they did that good, but sorry, I've asked for and I plan on receiving what the bids were on these jobs, because I get a feeling from what I've seen in most projects that somebody's bidding low, getting the bid, getting the project, and then all of a sudden we're adding this, we're adding here, we're adding there. And sorry, if this was my house and I asked the guy to rebuild a room, he's going to give me, you know, a quote, and I'm going to tell him I got to do 3 quotes and get the best one. Well, you know what? We're not getting the best because somebody's not looking into things thoroughly to be able to make sure that what they're bidding is what we're going to pay. And this is taxpayers' money. It's not my money. It's taxpayers' money. thank you very much. I will not be in favor of this.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 2 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Finance and Personnel Committee, Legislator Walpole's been excused. Legislator Martino, Resolution FP1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution on urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the classification of 2 positions in the audit department.
These are just as they say they are. They're 2 positions that we're working essentially on class and we're moving into where they should be.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP2 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution on urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract, Human Resources Department.
Thank you. Before you start, Legislator Martino, Legislator Klein had a prior commitment, and you have to leave this one, so Randy will note that. Back to you, Legislator Martino.
Thank you. This is a professional services contract, RFP, compares to that little RFP plans for. This is to add a dental program to management line.
Right. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
What is the cost of it?
Yes, 118.
$118,000 a year?
That's max. That's max. It could be anywhere from 87 to 118.
My father has a huge pension fund, and he said if you want to break it, put dental in.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that is 21 in favor, 1 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution 20.
Oh, 20, excuse me, 20.
Resolution FP3 by Legislator Martino.
Mr. Chairman, I have this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the Sheriff's Silver Star Association.
As you know, we've gone through the compensation study, and we are trying to correct some of the salaries as we're moving forwards with this. These next few resolutions will be all incorporated of that compensation study. So I offer this resolution and we can hear through them.
Thank you. Already did that. So, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
One is still
No, it's right to 21.
0 opposed.
All right, my bad. Resolution FP4 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the Oswego County Deputies Association.
Again, this is through the correction of the compensation study.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP5 by Legislator Martino.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution amending the salaries concerning Oswego County Professional Association.
And as per the compensation study, corrections.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP6 by Legislator Martino.
And Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its
Will
adoption.
the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution amending the salaries concerning management compensation plan.
As stated previous, this is all through the compensation study, moving forward.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
What is the number on this?
$87,117.
You're at 87,170.
Annually.
So I think that's the increase.
Yeah, that's what we have to move out for the remainder of this year.
Okay, so what about next year? What happens?
With all of these, the existing management plan or contractual labor agreement, whatever increases are in each of those also goes forward in January.
How long does this go on for?
This is a one-time fix for 2024 to bring salaries and wages in line with what the study recommended to be a competitive market. So this adjusts all these in '24, and then going forward, and you collective bargaining agreements.
I hope we perform to these numbers.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Any unfinished business, Legislator House?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have a motion to waive the rules for GC 8, IT2, FP7, and FP8 only.
Thank you. We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Back now then to Resolution GC8 by Legislator Holmes.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution approving execution of a tax agreement under Real Property Law 487 regarding a solar installation in the town of Palermo with the Oswego South PV1 LLC.
Yes, this is where the county of Oswego, the company recognized saying the current county mill rate for the town of Palermo is 7.62491. County tax represents a prorated share of 24.8% based on the overall evaluation.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
They're receiving a pilot, right? Payment in lieu of real property tax.
This is under the same section as a pilot. This is a section the state enacted for solar, wind, and other
How long does it go
energy.
for, Rich?
The exemption is 15 years that solar installations receive unless they enter a new agreement, so the agreement is for 15 years.
Do they post a bond with that town to clean the mess up when
I'm
it's
not
over?
familiar with what they did at the town level. Zoning land use falls to the town, not the county. There was some discussion at NISAC, and apparently that the county has looked at bonding for solar installations, and I hope to look into that a little bit further.
Thank you.
Legislator Castillo.
I'm glad you brought up NISAC there, Rich. The NISAC meeting was past, the discussion of solar was brought up, and several different counties that I spoke with have nothing good to say about solar. Yeah, we're gonna get money. I mean, what is it gonna, you wanna say no to money? Is that what you wanna say no to? I'm saying no to something that's gonna affect us 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. Brownfield sites are going to multiply. You cannot put that back to be able to be used for anything that you can feed the people with, feed your animals with, and I'm not in favor, I've never been in favor of the solar farms, and I still will not be in favor of it, but you guys have to start looking further down the road than getting money in your pocket now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that is 20 in favor,
19.
19 in favor, 0 opposed, and
Two
opposed.
I'm opposed.
1924.
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 2 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT2 by Legislator House.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For all legislators, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the county highway superintendent to enter into snow and ice agreement on certain terms.
Okay, we do this every year. partner with our towns to help us take care of our county roads. So we're running it at $8,500 per flat mile.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that is 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained.
Thank you. Resolution FP7 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the Oswego County Office Personnel Unit.
This was for the system. This was for the compensation study as well, moving forward with that.
Yes, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that is 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 abstained.
Thank you. Resolution FP8 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution approving a memorandum of understanding to extend the Oswego County Office Personnel Unit contract.
This is the extended contract for 1 year. The 3% that was negotiated.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Greco.
Sure, and I'd just like to take a moment to thank Administrator Church for all the hard work he did on this compensation study, and then Julie Bell and all the other people involved. A tremendous amount of work. Never going to make everybody happy, but I think they've done a stand-up job on this.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to say myself that I would be remiss if I did not say that there are some other changes and some other workings that we're going through Part B. We're looking at in Part 2, Part B, that Administrative Church and Julie Bell have been working through. So we will see another round of some changes here and there. But again, as we stated before, this was done as per along the lines of the compensation study that was presented to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Any miscellaneous business? Looking for the appropriate motion? Motion, seconded. Stand adjourned. Now, this is the public comment period. Legislator House. Oh. All right. So, well, she's on the sheet. Jess Madison, you spoke previous, you're good? What's that? They both passed. All right, thank you. Have a good evening. See you back here next month.